إن شاء الله تنين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا نبينا محمد النبي الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم اجعل تجمعنا تجمعا مرحوما، تفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما، ولا تجعل فيمن معنا ولا غائبا عنا شقيا ولا محروما. اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He is gathering us in this beautiful place in His house, to gather us under His shade and in Jannah inshaAllah, with the company of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and remind you and myself of Hadith Thawban. Thawban radiallahu anhu was the servant of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he used to be just under his command. Whatever you want, Ya Rasulullah, I will do for you. So one day the Prophet sallallahu was away for a whole day, and then he came in the end of the day and he saw Thawban sitting by Prophet sallallahu door or house, and he was like crying. You see the tears in his eyes. He said, "Ma yubkika ya Thawban?" So why are you crying, Thawban? What's wrong? Who made you upset? قال لقد أبطأت علينا يا رسول الله. You have went for a long day, and I could not imagine myself being away from you for a whole day. لقد أبطأت علينا يا رسول الله. فقال يا ثوبان أهذا ما يبكيك? Is this really truly what makes you cry? He said يا رسول الله بل تذكرت موقفي وموقعي ومكاني، تذكرت مكاني من الجنة من مكانك في الجنة فبكيت. He said, furthermore, I remembered my place in Jannah and your place in Jannah. Where am I and where you are? You are in Firdaus al-A'la, and probably I'm going to be somewhere else, and I'm not going to even see you. So that made me even cry more. Then the Prophet ﷺ قال له يا ثوبان المرء مع من أحب. He said, a person will be gathered with the one that he loves the most. So ask yourself tonight, whom do you really love the most in your life? Your father, your mother, your car, your house, your wife, your children, your wealth, the Prophet ﷺ and this deen. You are the judge. I cannot judge anybody. You judge yourself tonight. You ask yourself. Ali radiallahu anhu was asked one time, he said, if it was given to you the choice between your father and mother or the Prophet ﷺ, whom would you choose? He said, definitely the Prophet ﷺ. Because my mom and my dad, even if they were Muslims, in fact, his mom became Muslim, but his dad, Abu Talib was a Muslim. He said, even them, they will be running away from me in the hereafter. While the Prophet ﷺ, he was be running at me, not from me. He will be like, calling me, running after me to grab me, so not to be scared. So this is the feeling that we should have all the time when we talk about the Prophet ﷺ. And this is exactly what I'm going to talk about tonight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, He said, وَرَبُّكَ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ وَيَخْتَارُ مَا كَانَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who chooses, and He's the one who creates. Well, He's the one who creates, and He's the one who chooses. So we have no choice over that. Some things in your life you have no choice. You can't have your parents. Your parents will have you. You cannot have white or black skin. There are things in your life Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have chosen for you. You cannot do anything about it. But you do what? You submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The same thing the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he started his da'wah, he had chosen people around him. According to one of the scholars I was reading in the seerah, He said in Mecca at that time there were about 25 to 30,000 people. But how many Muslims were there when the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina? Anybody knows? Numbers maybe? Close to? They say around 300. People say 300 in 13 years? Or 513 years? I want to ask myself, how many did I bring to Islam in my 30 or my 40 or my 50 years? I'm not trying to, I'm trying to wake up the mind a little bit before we start this. The Prophet ﷺ have chosen people to be around him. Those core that lived with him in Dar al-Arqam ibn Abi al-Arqam. These people were the same core after 23 years were stood the ground with the Prophet ﷺ in the Battle of Hunayn while everybody was running away. Abu Bakr wa Umar wa Uthman wa Ali wa Talha Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, so and so and so forth, so on and so forth. These giants, the core that the Prophet ﷺ have around. Ask yourself tonight, you think that if you were living during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, you think the Prophet ﷺ would have chosen you? So many people became Muslims at that time. They say during Hajjatul Wada' there was 100,000 people in the valley of Arafah. But these people, a lot of them become non-Muslims after the death of the Prophet ﷺ. I hear people sometimes saying, well, you know what, I wish I was at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. I would have given him nusrah. I would have given him, victory and helped him. We don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us sometimes, even nowadays, with our faith. To see where are you at. And we think we fail or we pass. Allah will test you with your wealth. Allah will test you with your faith. Allah will test you with your wife, your children. Allah will test you with your neighbors, with your lifestyle. Because the Sahabatul Kiram went through the same living we are in. In fact, in that time it was very primitive. It wasn't that, it was even tougher to live at that time than living this time. Comfortably. I hear people sometimes when they go to Hajj, they complain, they come back, they say, yeah, can you believe there was no soap in the Mina? There was no toilet paper in the bathroom. I said, how do you think? Last week I was doing the lectures about the life of the Prophet ﷺ, and I was talking about the 3 years where the Prophet ﷺ lived in the valley of Abu Talib, Sheikh Abu Talib. For 3 years, there was no food coming in. He said, حَتَّى أَكَلْنَا وَرَقَ الشَّجَرِ. We start eating the leaves of the trees. Up till now, alhamdulillah, we did not eat the leaves of the trees. And we are complaining. We did not. And I can tell you, there are so many stories. When you go into the seerah, you say, subhanallah, how can we really think that we are really distinguished? But you can. Definitely you can. The scholars, all of them said, well, you will not reach the level of the companionship because the difference between us and them, they have seen the Prophet, we haven't seen him. They have migrated with him, or they have migrated, we did not migrate. They have done things at that time we cannot do anymore. It's done. But that level of being chosen one, being special, I want to ask you, do you feel that you are a special person? Do you feel that you are distinguished? Not because of your level of the community, or because of the wealth you have, or the houses, or the children, or what have you. I'm talking about the level of iman, the level of taqwa, the level of being distinguished as a Muslim, as a person following the Prophet ﷺ. One of the youth told me one time, we were having a qiyamul layl for the youth. And this is a very good idea to do it for the youth also here in Houston, inshallah. I know you are doing that definitely. But I found that it is good because when you sit with the youth, you hear things sometimes you don't hear from the adults. And the youth are aggressive. They tell you things, they don't like it, boom. They don't like what you call it, sugarcoat it. They just